So today I have an interesting bike on my stand. It is an electric gravel bike, but what's more important besides that is it's more of a budget option. And I think it's more of a commuter that can do gravel than people who are looking for a purposeful only gravel bike. It has some pretty good specs on it, and I was kind of impressed by it for the price. And the power unit on it is surprisingly pretty powerful for its size. So let's go ahead and just jump into some of the parts on this. This is a Class 2 bike, so it will pedal assist up to 20 miles an hour. And the motor is the Akawa AP70, which is made in the Netherlands but manufactured in China. It has 120 Newton meters of torque, which is pretty impressive for the little size of this power unit here. So some of the other specs on it, really nice tires here. It's on a pretty decent depth aluminum wheel. I don't know who makes it, it's just non-branded, but it is on Novatech hubs. So not super high end, but when you're looking for a budget price point, you can't really be strict on things like hubs. What's new to me on this is this bike came with an S-Ride Groupset. I have never heard of S-Ride up until I got this bike to test out. So on the front, this is the R610 Groupset from S-Ride, and I'm pretty impressed with it. I've never used an S-Ride Groupset. I'm pretty sure it's a Chinese, Asian Groupset, but surprisingly very nice. Nice cassette on there. So it uses a S-Ride cassette and an S-Ride derailleur that I'll show you here, but it is using a Shimano chain. So pretty interesting. It seems to be compatible with Shimano components. Going up to the cockpit, we have a very basic drop bar over here. It does have integrated like headset cable routing. Not a giant fan of. Going around here, we have a computer up here. This is the Akawa computer for, tracking how many watts you're using, what speed you're going, what mode you're in. And then there's also a Star Union little headlight here, which is actually pretty good. You'll see some footage in the video of me riding around at night. And this is more than enough headlight for you to see where you're going, but also be seen by other people. So as we work our way down past the cockpit, down here into the saddle, we have a KS Exaform dropper. So this I did have a small issue with. It was just I couldn't get it to actuate, but I reached out to Alex at AMZ and he helped me get it sorted, and it was just a small cable issue from the factory and it was resolved without problem. But this is also an air suspension dropper as well, so it has a little bit of give in it when it's, you're riding on it, so it doesn't shock you as much. Right below here, you can see there is a little tail light. So it's great to have at night if you're doing a bunch of commuting, or if you're in the city. Having the tail light and headlight is super important. Make sure you're visible, make sure you're seen. Works great, super bright for what it is. Now I'm gonna get a little bit in talking about the battery. Now it's pretty interesting on this bike. It is a budget bike, but the battery is pretty impressive. It's a 720 watt-hour battery, but the part that I think is impressive is it uses Samsung cells in it. So when you're shopping for a budget bike like this and you don't know what you're getting in the battery, like what cells they are, what brand. So when you're buying a budget bike like this, it's nice to know that you're having really good cells supplied in the battery, so there's no issues with your battery. Because this is something you have to think about when you're buying a budget bike. You're gonna be storing this in your garage, in your home, and you don't want some, grade F, battery lithium ion cells in your bike charging and possibly having an issue. And I know insurance companies probably won't like what I'm gonna say, but bikes do burn down when they use poor batteries. So knowing this bike has excellent batteries in it from Samsung, there's less risk of just quality of a battery. And to talk a little bit more about the battery here, this is UL certified. So these are coming into the States completely legal, completely tested, and completely certified. So there's nothing to worry about. It is passing every inspection that it needs to have before it comes in and it goes in your home and it's charging in your garage. Continuing on with the battery, you get a nice charger with it. It's actually a newer high-end GAN charger, which is great to see. It's a newer technology, allows faster charging, less size for the charging capability of a charger. Now it'll take about 6 to 8 hours to charge this battery from zero, and you get around 70 to 75 miles on the battery when you're in one of the lower modes. Now if you're riding around on like turbo mode, you're not gonna get that. That's just a given. It's like if you're driving a car and you're just stamping on the gas the whole time, you're not gonna get the average, you know, city or highway MPG of a car. It's, you know, driving in ideal conditions and scenarios, you get that mileage. So around 75 miles, and I did not clean this bike. I've been riding this for a while now, and I wanted to show you that I've been riding it. And there's dirt on it. I've done a bunch of gravel. I've gone through a little bit of water, a little bit of rain, and it still works perfectly fine, no issues. Now, let's talk about the weight of this bike. It's not light. And with a battery this big and with this range, and it being aluminum, you shouldn't expect it to be light. It comes in right around 45 pounds. So if you're loading this on top of a car, you need to be ready to actually grab this thing, pick it up, and put it up there. I probably recommend getting a hitch mount if you're taking this thing somewhere that's far away or you can't ride to where you want to go. So it's a little bit of a heavy bike, but that's to be expected with one, having an aluminum frame and also having a really big battery in it. Now, coming off mentioning the aluminum frame, it does have a carbon fork on the front. Now that's there, you know, to save a little bit of weight, but also carbon's a little bit better at absorbing any of those vibrations that you might get while riding on gravel. It has a little bit more of a compliance factor to it versus something like aluminum. Now, what I think is super important, and probably not a lot of people know, and I think more bikes should be doing this bike has a UDH dropout. So you're probably wondering, what is a UDH? This is my first bike, I don't know what that means. What's a dropout? So the UDH is a universal derailleur hanger. This is something that was created by SRAM, which is a big component manufacturer for bikes, to be a universal method of a point on a bike that is a high point of failure. So the UDH, or derailleur hanger, is what connects your shifting derailleur to the bike. And it is common if you're doing mountain biking or something, or you lay your bike down or get in a crash, this breaks off, and it's vital for it not to be broken so you can shift. So when bikes are created and they're one-off and it's this frame, and maybe the company goes out of business and they don't make bikes anymore, you can't buy that derailleur hanger, because the derailleur hanger is completely separate from the frame. It attaches to the frame with a long axle and goes through, or sometimes bolts, and it allows your shifter to connect. And once that breaks and you can't buy it anymore, you're gonna have to try and like look for one that someone makes, like Wheels Manufacturing, or just hope that there's another channel that's selling old stock of a derailleur hanger. So the fact that this comes with a UDH is huge to me, especially on a budget bike, because a lot of budget bikes, they're not doing that. You're buying these derailleur hangers that no name, no part number, no support. So the fact that you can go to your local bike shop and buy that replacement part for the derailleur hanger, huge point. Excellent job, guys, excellent job. I want to see more of that in bikes. I'm going to talk a little bit more about the wheel and tire setup here. So it is actually pretty cool to see a name brand, you know, non-generic tire on this bike. It's a Radler from WTB. This is more of the aggressive type of gravel tire that I've seen. You have other ones like the Riddler, which is a little bit less aggressive with these side knobs on the side of the tire. But seeing this come on a budget bike, I mean, that's awesome. These tires are amazing. I love all the WTB gravel tires. This is just an awesome thing to come on a bike that is budgeted towards, you know, the cheaper end, the lower end cost. So excellent work there. These tires do have tubes in them right now. They are not tubeless setup. If you want to do that, you can, but if you're just gonna be riding this around town and doing stuff and not going off on crazy gravel trails, I wouldn't recommend going tubeless. Just keep tubes in there, maybe get some TPU tubes is what you should do if you're just commuting around town and going off-road a little bit. Now I'm gonna talk a little bit more about the brakes on this bike. These are the S-Ride R610 Groupset 2 piston front and rear hydraulic brakes. So it's already a great starting point from some bikes. A lot of bikes have just, you know, cable actuated, mechanical, clamper style. I think they could use some better pads, but I think they feel perfectly fine as they are. I had no issues stopping with them, but if I had to, I would probably upgrade the pads. So what I like about this setup is you have a center lock, and it is a Shimano 160 front and rear. So you're getting a nice Shimano rotor. It's a great start. That's another one of the things where they found an area to put nice name brand stuff like Shimano on this bike. So you're getting Shimano rotors and Shimano chain with this. A lot of bikes come with chains that you just like, no brand on them, nothing. At least you know you're getting a high quality Shimano chain with this bike. Now, the saddle on this bike isn't terrible. I've put, you know, multiple miles on this now. There's a loop right behind our shop here that you can go do, and it's full gravel loop, and it's super nice. And the saddle's not terrible, but it's definitely one of the first points of contact that I would upgrade on this bike. Everyone has a very specific type of feel that they like. Maybe you like an ergon saddle, maybe you're a WTB guy, maybe you're a Physic, whatever, you know. I think that's what you need to upgrade first if you get this bike. Get yourself a nice comfortable saddle, go to a bike shop, see if they have a saddle testing area where you can sit down and it analyzes your bones and your butt, see what saddle might be best for you to start with. So I think that would be the first point. Second point, I would probably upgrade the grip tape on here and probably the bar or stem as well. The grip tape is just what you would imagine for a budget gravel bike, especially an e-bike. If this was a gravel bike of this price, you probably have nicer tape and a nicer stem and bar. But for hitting a price point, you have to make sacrifices somewhere, and this made the most sense, from what I could tell. So let's talk a little bit about the drivetrain here. So Okawa AP70 motor here. Super nice motor. I like this power unit. It's small, it's powerful. The assist is pretty instant, almost. It's like half a pedal, maybe one pedal, and it starts going, so be careful with that. And then you have a 170mm crank arm. I would probably also upgrade this after the other stuff I talked about. So maybe go to just a shorter one if you really want to. I would say like a 165 would be really nice on this. But if you're just commuting around the city with this, perfectly fine. Don't bother with the cranks. Now for the pedals, I would probably upgrade those no matter what. When I was testing this off on gravel roads, you know, bombing down some gravel at 25, 30 mile an hour on this bike, these were a little bit sketchy. I don't think that's the intention of this bike, is to be going that fast on gravel, but my feet popped off quite a few times with these plastic pedals. And that's not uncommon with, you know, bikes. Even big brand name bikes either don't come with pedals, or you get some of the worst ones you've ever put your feet on. So I would definitely look into getting some nicer pedals for this. Okay guys, so this is the night portion of the AMZ Cougar. I got my headlight on, tail light on. Gonna go for a quick ride and show you with my on-body cam what it looks like with the headlight, but also give you a third-person perspective of what the bike looks like when you're riding, so you can see how visible you are to, you know, people around you. So let's go ahead and get on it. So hopefully there's not too much wind noise, but you can see the light is pretty decent on this. I'm gonna get into an area that's a little bit more pitch dark, but down this way, there is a bit darker section of road. So hopefully you can see here on video, I mean, pretty well lit, and I can point it up to get most of it, point it down more. But I tend to look further ahead for stuff that I might hit, or like potholes. So I like to point the light just a little bit further out. I think it's a pretty good setup, and it's already pre-wired into the battery. So when you turn it on, you have access to power. You don't have to hit any buttons besides the one to turn it on the actual drop bar. And I think what would be pretty cool if they had it where you could adjust like the levels of it, like brightness. Maybe like change it a little dimmer, or maybe there's a setting that's brighter, you know, at sacrificing your battery. You know, the brighter you go, less battery you have. But I think that would be pretty cool if that was an option that could be added to it. But this, completely usable. It's actually really good. Oh boy, going off-road. But yeah, I mean, we can go off-road. Let's see. Put the dropper down. Not a problem. And kick it right back up on the trail. I think this is a great setup, fully adjustable. No problems with this if you're in the city. I think people will be able to see it too. The LED light in the rear lights up pretty well. It's a pretty well flood around the rear tire of red light as well. So if someone can't necessarily see the light, they could see it reflecting off the ground, a little red puddle. So, and you can aim both of these too. The rear light is aimable, you can tilt it. So maybe you want to flood a little bit more of the rear than have it like straight. It's totally up to you. You can change it as you want. Rip around our complex here. Show you how those brakes work. Like I said, the pads could be upgraded. Maybe, if you're going 30 miles an hour on this thing, I'd probably upgrade them. But here, let's give it a full chooch. Now is where you hear me out of breath. But I had that in boost mode, and this thing is torquey. It is like fast. So that's it, quick little night sprint around our work complex. Maybe I'll do a night gravel section on this, or maybe another video I'll do that. But yeah, this thing's fun. Everyone I put on it, they're like, dude, that thing is awesome. And you know, a lot of my friends are like the anti-e-bike people, but they're like, it's hard to deny it's not fun. They're like, I get it. I get the want. It's really fun just to boost around. You feel like a kid again riding this. I know I said I was gonna end this like a minute ago, but like I said, it's just a lot of fun. You get caught riding too much. But yeah, so that's a little night session. Great little bike. Super stable too at speed. It's a little bit gloomy out here in Florida, but gonna take you guys for a little test ride here. I actually have 0 power assist on right now, so it's just me pedaling. But we're gonna take a little loop around from our little building here, the Atlas Bikes building, and go to one of the little parks we have behind our facility. Let this pass and then go as fast as I can. There we go. Not too bad. That's what boost is like. I don't know what I got up to. Probably somewhere around 30 mile an hour. Talk a little bit about the bike here. Start with hand controls. Left here, that's your front brake. Right is rear. The big lever here, that's your dropper. This guy does nothing. So it's a one-by system. Then on the right here, that brake, shift up, shift down. You can do multi-click. Multi-click is only down, not up. So that's how that works. The S-Ride, it's a 1x12 system. It's actually pretty good. I would be interested to put this Groupset on my GT since it's hydraulic and just run it in 1x and not use this lever at all. I wish we could change that. Maybe I would use this lever for a dropper as well. Pretty cool. It's hydraulic, which is rare, I feel, for like a budget gravel Groupset. Had a hard time finding one that's hydraulic and pretty cheap because I have some Lewis brake calipers that I want to run on my GT grade, and it's just not possible. Oh look, some wildlife right next to the Giga Florida development. It's a big problem in Florida. Developers are overdeveloping everywhere, destroying all the nature, but it's a tangent. I won't get into that. Yeah, hand controls, really good. We've got our little computer here, and on the actual hand controls, there's buttons right here. Button up, button down. This is your actual interaction with the screen and your modes. So if I hit up on the right here, go to Eco to Tour. So that's how that works. And then get down, it changes your power modes. You can hold down this right one, it turns on your headlight and your tail light. So if you actually hold down these two buttons too, you get into a secondary menu. When I say hold down, I mean just tap the both of them. Don't actually hold them down, just hit them both at once. And that's all like your stats for the bike and your trip that you're on. But all in all, I think this is a really good bike for the price, especially if you get it on sale. And I actually have a discount code they gave me. If you want to buy one, save $100 on one of these bikes. So make sure you do actually use that in the description if you want to buy one of the AMZ bikes. The motor on this bike is actually really impressive. The Akawa motor. It has like a lot of torque for this type of bike. Now this bike is more targeted towards like commuting. I think it's more of like a commuting bike that can do gravel than a purpose-built gravel bike that can do commuting. This is for you people who maybe live out by the country or whatever, and you want to go into the city or whatever, and there's like a little bit of off-road. You wouldn't be able to do this very easily with your typical commuter bike or city bike. This one with the nicer tires and everything definitely makes it a bit easier. I mean, this thing has like torque. Like you pick up, it's like, geez, everyone that's ridden it too is like, this thing has way more torque than any commuter bike I've ever ridden. Electric commuter bike. Yeah, someone's been out here flying around in like a goat cart. Yeah, when you put this thing into boost, it is like extremely torquey and fast. So here, yeah, like we're flying. The brakes on the bike are pretty good as well. I would upgrade the pads. I think the pads on it aren't that great. I don't know if they're semi-metallic or organic, but I think some good semi-metallic pads would do great on this brake system after especially like a proper bed in. But here, let's bomb this real quick. Yeah, this is our little nature area path that we have behind our shop. Cool little place. Very tempted to just to build some pirate trails out here, but I don't know how well they would like that. I'm gonna take us out of boost here. Go back to tour. So you can see, ridden 1 mile. I got a 55-mile range in the tour mode. So it should be said, if you're gonna go in tour, that's gonna suck up your battery a little bit. So if you keep it in anything below tour, like eco, you're gonna get your full range of this bike. You know, it's like 70 plus miles of range. So let's go down a little grass gravel mixture here. Show you, this is a cool little trail. So showing you, like, you know, this bike can go on grass, gravel, road. It's meant to be kind of like a Swiss Army knife commuter bike, you know, no limitations. The one thing that would be nice on this, I know it's like kind of a funny subject, you know, an actual fork on the front of this would be great. I mean, you know, like the joke is, well, now you just have a 1990s mountain bike. But you could do other things like a suspension stem, and this does have a suspension seat on it. Oh yeah, there was a bump right there. Felt that in my neck. But yeah, and there is another bike from AMZ. It's called the Ranger. It's a carbon frame, so a little bit lighter, a little bit more compliant than this aluminum one. That comes with a fork. Suntour fork on the front, and it's a little bit, I think, less motor on it. Has a lower torque motor, peak wattage, which is interesting. But a bike like this, I think, if you're doing what I'm doing versus city commuting, you definitely benefit from like a little fork on it, and maybe a carbon frame with some seat stays and chain stays that will absorb some of the shock. But if you can handle it and take the little abuse from riding a rigid frame, this is great. You know, oh boy, got some mud here. Nothing these WTB Radlers can't handle. This is really interesting on this trail. If you live out here, Central Florida, come out and check out this little conservation area. But here, I mean, let's go down this field. Like, what is this? They cleared this out and they mow it for something. They must be doing something out here. I don't know what, but it's cool. Just watch for any holes. Break my neck. Stand up off the seat here. Yeah, like what is going on? I wonder if this is for like RC planes. Guys come out here. A little strip. That'd be a great use for it. If You fly RC planes, you know, come out to Pine Meadows Conservation Area, Eustis, Florida. Now I do gotta be careful here. I'm just running tubes on this bike, no tubeless. Just keep that in mind if you're doing this. Maybe convert. See what this sign says. Let's do a little hop off here. Okay, make sure there's no snakes in the grass here. They love being in here in Florida. Gotta be careful. Trespassing owned by Lake County. Oh. Must butt up against someone's personal property. What is pretty cool on this bike, you do have a carbon fork on it. It does absorb a little bit of the shock, not all of it, but it also makes the frame and the bike a little bit lighter. The motor is pretty quiet too. It's not loud at all. I've heard some e-bikes and they're just the loudest motor you've ever heard. It's just a slight little whirl you get from it. Nothing too intruding or annoying. Shifter does have a very satisfying click and actuation on it. If you are powering the motor and going through, you will hear a pretty good clunk on the rear cassette from the chain shifting over under torque. I mean, that's just a given. Even if you pedaled like that on a regular mechanical bike, non-powered, you're putting down a bunch of torque, forcing the cassette to run up or down. It's gonna give you a nice little ting or clunk, but not a bad one. Just it jumping up or down. I feel like I'm putting this frame through its paces. I don't think it's not meant to go on rooty dirt trails. It's more just gravel roads, but hey, might as well see what it can do. It's more up to what you can do, not the bike. How much pain and vibration your body can take from a rigid frame. Now, I'm not going to quote pricing at all because AMZ is running sales every now and then and have a different price for this bike depending on when you watch this video. But for Black Friday, I believe it did get down with a coupon code down to $1,600. And for a bike like this, with the power that it has and the range and the battery that uses Samsung cells, you know, has UDH, great group set that I think shifts pretty well for what it is. I think that's a killer deal for an e-bike. But yeah, I think this is a good deal, especially if you catch it on sale. I mean, 1,600 bucks for a 70+ mile range e-bike, UDH rear dropout, you know, WTB Radler Okawa motor on it. Has a KS dropper, which is also a suspension dropper. Oh gosh, we're gonna be flinging gentlemen. Killer deal. I'll have links to the bikes in the description where you can go to AMZ's website and pick one of these up if you're looking for a bike like this. Earlier in the video, I mentioned things I would change or upgrade. I think that's valuable if you're gonna be doing what I'm doing. Last time I saw a snake here, someone left a can in the trail. Don't be that person. Don't litter. People that litter on our protected natural grounds should go straight to jail. No question. Yeah, this goes pretty far down. This is gonna be a real torture test of me on a rigid frame, especially with drop bars. This thing's gonna need a bath after this. I mean, just look at that front tire, caked. This is what you have to experience if you go off-road, especially right after the rain. I basically made slicks here with these WTBs. They're just packed with dirt, mud. See if we can use some centrifugal force here. Get some of this off. I might get knocked out by some mud. Oh, it's coming off in chunks. Ah! Keep going fast. It won't stick. Probably look like I got a big brown mark on the back of my shirt. Oh, buddy. Yeah. You need some suspension on this. This is a good old torture test. Cougar's keeping up though. Still chugging along. I mean, this thing is gonna, by the end of this, it's gonna look like I've been riding in, you know, England, Wales or something. It's gonna look like where I'm riding. Oh man, slipping and sliding. We got some mud. Holy crap. What's really dangerous is these pedals. If you're riding like this, get some studded pedals or some clipless pedals if you can ride them. I'm trying to keep my hands floating on the drop bars here so I don't wear out my arms, wear out my hands. Oh, there's a bump there. I just really hope it's not flooded on this canal path. This comes about halfway before it floods. So we're gonna find out. I bet the cassette is just caked with mud. Still shifting. Yep, still shifting. Now this is a little dangerous. Mud coated tires on wet grass. Might get a good clip here of me eating it. Looks like we got a bird here. Just gonna keep my eyes forward. Look out for any dips. Keep chugging. So I'm at 17 mile an hour. Shift up. Oh, gotta keep my feet on the pedals. 19 mile an hour. We're going smooth. Yeah, you could ride this all day on this. Those rooty trails back in the woods, no sir. But to keep going fast, keep our tires clean. I might bump us up a power level. Get some more torque, more speed for my gear I'm in. Yeah, buddy, we're cooking. We're at the pedal assist limit, 20 mile an hour. Oh, this thing's just gliding over this. This is amazing. Got some rough stuff. A little bit of gravel. Oh yeah. Look at us. We're cruising. Some good old boys in their John boat. There we go. Back on the gravel. Let's clean our tires up a little bit. Watch out. We got a Chevy Malibu. So that's pretty much it for the bike. Just wanted to give you a riding experience. Show you how it does. when you do trails like that, definitely look into getting some better pedals. Might just save you from a crash. You see now, I'm just cruising along top gear. I'm in sport mode. And ideally, I don't think you ever need to go over sport unless you are going onto a highway like I was. So guys, there it is. Little demo ride of the AMZ Cougar electric gravel bike. Super cool bike, very torquey, very fast. Great value. You can see, I really took this thing through its paces. Look at our mud here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, there we go. So yeah, I'm gonna have to give this thing a good bath. Get it really clean. That's clay. That's definitely clay. But yeah, so probably do a little end segment here. Just do a little end of video recap. And yeah, check out the AMZcycle Cougar. I'll have a link in the description for y'all. But yeah, awesome bike, great value. Time for a ride back to the shop. So that's a wrap for the AMZcycle Cougar video. I think for the price, it's a very good value. You get some nice tires, a nice dropper, an actually surprisingly good group set, UDH rear, big battery that can go a long distance, and it uses Samsung cells in it. Yeah, I think it's a really well put together kit, especially if you get the bike on sale. So like I know for Black Friday, they were doing a big sale on it. And I asked if they're gonna be doing like an end of the year sale as well. So just keep your eyes open on the AMZcycle website and also use the discount code in the video. I don't get any kickback from that. It's just something that I can share to you guys to get a discount. So I make no money off the code. But yeah, I think it's a pretty good bike for the value. And what's nice is you can commute on it every day, has huge battery range, 75 miles, and the eco setting. And if you want to be powerful and fast with it, you can put it all the way up into boost and it's like super torquey. But yeah, so that's it for the AMZcycle Cougar video. Hopefully you see some more other bikes show up on the channel that I can just review and give my opinion on. And this video will go live and before they see it, so there's no review of my video. So all the things in this video are my own opinion, so just want to let you all know. But yeah, I don't get any gain from this. They just sent me the bike to do a video on, asking, they saw my previous video on my GT grade, and they're like, hey, we like your video, would you want to do one on this bike? And I was like, sure, why not? Having more content's good. So let me know what you guys think of the bike and the video, and I'll see you next time.